Leonard Fournette, Deshaun Watson, Marshawn Lattimore, Alvin Kamara.
Gives to Fournette. He's into the open field. Are you kidding me? Leonard Fournette just went 90 yards.
Watson fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown, Houston. It's a carry for Watson. Touchdown, Houston. He throws to the end zone. Touchdown.
Houston, we have a quarterback.
Marshawn Lattimore, the rookie that has really cemented things on the back end.
And it's going to be intercepted. It's Marshawn Lattimore coming back the other way. Lattimore. Special K. Alvin Kamara shakes a tackle there, and he'll score. He's special one.
As we take a look at the draft regrades from Mel Kiper Jr., we will welcome in Mel himself in just a second. So we got after this 2017 draft a year ago. It happened. The season went down. The Patriots took 4. Rivers, Garcia, Wise Jr., and McDermott were their picks. The regrade looks pretty good if you are a New England Patriots fan, and a Super Bowl was the result. We welcome back Mel Kiper Jr. right now. Mel, how did they get moving that quickly to A to a C+, move the opposite way for New England?
You know, what happened, Jack, was this. You factor in the trades. How do you utilize the draft process? They went out and made trades for Brandon Cooks, Dwayne Allen, tight end, Gillislee, the running back, Coney Ely, defensive end, pass rusher. Well, they didn't get much out of those guys. Outside of Brandon Cooks, very limited production. And Garcia, their first pick overall in the 4th round, injured. But I think he'll be a factor. Certainly Garcia needs to be a factor as well. And Wise was at times a factor. So when you really put it all together, had they gotten more from those trades, those veterans, Jack, that grade would have maintained. But since they didn't, outside of Brandon Cooks, get that kind of production, I moved that grade down just a bit.
So we'll move now to the Houston Texans. You take a look at what they did a season ago. The Texans you had graded as a C+ with your post-draft grade evaluation. You moved them now to a B+. How much did a Deshaun Watson in the shot of sunshine that he was to this Texans team factor in to the new grade?
Jack was huge, and that's certainly him being as dynamic and tremendously effective and looking like a star in the making, was the reason why. Now, why didn't I give him an A? Because the injury factor. He had the injury at Clemson, now another injury. Can he remain durable? Can he become a quarterback who continues to grow and be out there for a full season? Zach Cunningham in the 2nd round gave them a real effective linebacker in the middle of that defense with his height and his athleticism and his versatility. So he's a guy really they hit with in the 2nd round. But Watson, hey, great promise. We love everything we've seen, but stay healthy. And that's the key, I think, to whether that grade goes from a B+ to an A+ moving forward.
Thank you, Mel. And so Watson did all of the things on an NFL field that he did at Clemson. All of the things that his naysayers said that he could not do, he did. So now we ask, is there going to be a sophomore slump for Watson, or is it time to take off?
No, I would assume that he continues to develop and continues to grow and just builds on what was shaping up to be a remarkable rookie season. Look, the guy showed poise that I don't want to say it was a surprise because that's what he was known for at Clemson. He showed tremendous athleticism outside the pocket as far as a runner and a thrower. I don't think that was a surprise either. That's something that he showed at Clemson. I think it was his ability to throw the football down the field and operate from the pocket that took some people by surprise, that they thought the learning curve would be a little bit steeper. I think, look, as long as he comes back and is able to keep his lower body healthy and stay on the football field, sky's the limit for Deshaun.
I mean, Deshaun's a guy who has dealt with this injury before. He had the same injury at Clemson, and so he knows what the rehab is like. He knows how to come back from it. I think the thing that was amazing to me was watching this team without Deshaun Watson and with him, what he gave this team in leadership, what he gave them in excitement, but exactly what you said, Lou, his ability to throw the ball down the field. We've been looking for Will Fuller since he's been drafted, and we found him when Deshaun Watson was playing. Now, we know anybody in the world can throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. But the way that Deshaun got everybody else involved with this offense, if you're a Houston Texans fan, you're excited about seeing him come back this year, another year of tutelage, knowing he's going to be the starter. This guy's a star in this league.
Yep.
We can agree on that.
Absolutely.
Look forward to watching him year 2. So we'll get to the New Orleans Saints now. Hard to do much better than the Saints did last year. New Orleans drafted both on offense and defense. Rookie of the year last year in Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, geez, Pete, they put that team together in a single season. So the question is, Mel, which had a greater impact? When you look at these grades, which had the greater impact on what this Saints team did? Running back or a star corner? Because they got both.
Boy, that's a tough one, Shaq. I would say, I'll give the edge to Kamara because he was such an impact player. But on the defensive side is where they needed to get the help. And it wasn't just a guy like Lattimore. Williams, outside that huge hiccup in the playoffs, did a good job. Alex Anzalone contributed. So it wasn't just one guy, but certainly Kamara and Ramczyk. Heck of an offensive lineman, an offensive tackle, that bookend that you need. But what Kamara did is a third-round pick. Some thought he could be a first. Hey, running backs, you can find. I say it every year. You can find these steals at running back. They did with Kamara. The Kansas City Chiefs did with Kareem Hunt. There were several others as well that produced big time at bargain points in the draft. But I think Kamara, for where they got him and the production they were able to get in terms of catching and running and the dynamic presence he was for Sean Payton and Drew Brees, it was because of Kamara in that third round as a super steal allowed them to get that A grade.
Mel Kiper Jr., thank you, sir. As always, we appreciate it. So, for you guys, who had the greater impact, Lattimore or Kamara?
You know, you would go with Kamara because it's easier to like tangibly look at the statistics and say this is what his impact was. Look, there's a lot of off-ball production for corners that never show up on the stat sheet, but he's shutting down his guy, but you just can't really measure it. And I'll take that a step further. The offensive line of the New Orleans Saints this year was one of the best in the NFL. There's a reason why Ingram and Kamara were running crazy over people, and Ryan Ramczyk was one of the reasons why. These people were blowing people off the ball, so you really have no stats for an offensive lineman, but they hit on those guys. They hit on their top four players unbelievably.
This is what I'll say about Alvin Kamara. If Saquon Barkley, somebody we're calling a can't-miss prospect, one of the best running backs to come out of college in ages, has the exact year that Alvin Kamara had when it's passing, when it's rushing, when it's returning kicks, if he has the exact year, you're happy. You're excited. You think Saquon Barkley is a hit, and he's possibly going to be the first pick of this draft. That's the type of impact that Alvin Kamara had on the New Orleans Saints last year.
And if they had known what they were going to get, they would have picked him much sooner, is a fact. Johnny Manziel, the comeback season is in the works. Will Manziel get back to a football field? I don't know, but he was throwing today.
Can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Because the second we think we've given everything.